This is Jackie, and I'm here at the Gentlemen of Sworn In at the Maryland stop of Vans Warped Tour. We're about halfway point. It's going to be easy from now on, I promise. No torrential rains, no 120 degrees.
Hopefully the elements are done being harsh.
What have been the highlights so far of tour?
I would definitely say all of the kind of like major city shows have been like very, very memorable. And then highlights as far as like positivity.
We put out a new CD. Kids are liking it. That's amazing.
That's where I'm going next. Excellent. You just recently released All Smiles. Who or what influenced the songwriting on that album?
It's not really who. It's kind of just... Well, we started this band when we were like 15 or 16. We started touring full-time at 18 through 22. So we went through a lot of weird things, and that's kind of the influence for it. It's not so much another band. It's kind of just... We've been through some shit, I guess.
Fair enough. So you said it's not necessarily a band, but if there's one song on the album that best represents your overall sound that you want new fans to listen to, what would that be?
Let's say Puppeteer.
Yeah, definitely Puppeteer.
It's heavy. This album we kind of explored bringing back a lot of the heaviness of the first one and keeping the creativity and like the melodicness of the second one. So it's a good blend, and I think that song does it well.
And how would you say your sound has evolved over the years?
All over the place.
Yeah, I think that we've really learned a lot through trial and error, and we've always tried to write things that would resonate with us. But I think one thing that really sets this album apart from the first two is that we wrote primarily for us, and we tried to write our favorite metal record to an extent. So it was very genuine and honest, and there wasn't any kind of like beating around the bush or like pandering to what we thought others might want. We wanted like to get our product out first the way we want it, and then however it's received is how it's received.
It's interesting. That seems to be a little bit of the theme behind the song and the video for All Smiles. Can you tell us about who came up with the treatment for that?
That was actually me. I shot, directed, and edited that video while we were on Warped Tour and with my friend Bryce Hall. And basically it was trying to do a lot with not much, so I guess the less is more kind of thing. So the entirety of the video is done in the back of our trailer. And I had a fog machine and a couple LED lights, and really just kind of sweated out in there. And it kind of stripped it down to this raw feeling where everything is like red, and it's all in the same room, but it feels like it's kind of like there's like a depth to it, even though it's technically in like a 4x5 trailer.
Yeah, when you said trailer, I was like, that definitely does not seem like it was shot in a trailer. So mission accomplished on that. It does not look like that was the setting. That's awesome. You've actually had a lot of input on the visual aspect of your band. Has that been something that's been a passion of yours, visual arts as well?
It's newer to me. It's been about maybe a little under 2 years to when I started kind of delving into it. But I really kind of came to learn that trusting others to come up with I guess we would come up with like a vision per se, and then try to hire out freelance people to bring it to life. And it just never really worked. There was a big disconnect. And when I was living on my own and had a lot of time on my hands, I started delving more into like photo, video, and graphic and all that kind of stuff. And all those kind of art forms played into the music, so they all kind of coexist at the same time. And then just kept going with it, and I don't know, that's really about it.
What role do you see music videos having in 2017, where we no longer have a channel that we can turn to in the U.S.?
I still think they're important. More so than just putting out a song. People really care about the visual aspect now. That's why it's good we're kind of not settling on the video side of it.
I think that it is equally important to have the music be sonically, emotionally honest, as well as the visual, because all kinds of arts, in my opinion, kind of play into each other. So if you're trying to unsettle people with music, which we are, unsettling them visually as well adds on top of that. And it also allows the viewer to make an association with the faces and the name and build a stronger connection to the group.
Faces, even with the video. All right, I understand that. I'll agree with that. Having just released new music, what role do you see streaming sites like Spotify have, especially when you put out something new?
It's like an interesting question because I exclusively listen to music on Spotify, and I also have been, trying to sell a new record. So it's half and half. Where I understand where people are coming from when they're not buying the record and they just stream it. I also understand that for bands it makes it hard, and people are buying records less and less every day. But I think when all things are considered, I'd rather have more people listen to the art we're making than buy it. So I think sites that stream like Spotify and Apple Music are really beneficial.
And hopefully artists will get that come around when fans buy tickets and merch and things like that.
Yeah.
That's sort of the plan. So tomorrow's the APMAs. What's up next for you after Warped Tour?
Europe.
Yeah.
Europe.
In November. It's the Impericon Never Say Die tour with Amir.
Great bunch of guys. Well, stay tuned for much more from Sworn In. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and One Avenue.